My name is Lindsey Horvath. I am the supervisor for the 3rd District here in Los Angeles County, and I want to thank you for joining us to talk about how we as Los Angeles County are preparing for the rain and the forecast this week. We have with us our Director of Public Works, Mark Pestrella, as well as Todd Hall, Senior Meteorologist with the National Weather Service, and our LA County Sheriff's Captain Jen C2 is also here from our Malibu Lost Hills station. And we thank you, Captain, for all that your team has been doing in keeping us safe and having a safe reopening of the PCH in our county areas today. I want to make very clear that our community in the Los Angeles County areas has kept to our plan. We've reopened the county portions of the PCH at 8 a.m. today. And we have done this to support our residents so they can resume their lives. We can support our young people who need to get back to school. And that's one of the important challenges that we're solving for and why it was important to open this weekend. So we're not starting Monday morning with challenges for our young people. Without a partially opened PCH, getting to work, school, and essential services is extremely difficult. But I want to emphasize that this is for locals only, and that is what is encouraged. Rest assured, our Sheriff's Department is at an elevated deployment to protect our Malibu and unincorporated communities, and will continue to protect our residents from anyone who is seeking to prey on them with every resource we have available at our disposal. Keeping our communities safe, coordinated, and in clear communication is critical. We're here today because LA County Public Works is our region's lead agency on storm preparedness, and this is our role in managing the flood control district. Our mission is to protect lives, to protect property, and to protect our environment. This is our second rain event following last month's wildfires, and you can see at our location here at Sunset Mesa, the tremendous mud flow mitigation efforts have been established. We're also urgently working to prevent debris from flowing into our storm drain system and polluting our ocean. We're grateful for the California Office of Emergency Services, who has provided instrumental support, installing K-rail, sandbags, and essential flood control infrastructure. Together, we are preparing all of Los Angeles County for wet weather, including clearing storm drains and debris basins for the city of Los Angeles. We're gathered here today to share our preparedness plans and, importantly, to ask our community members to prepare for the rains with us. Now is the time to make sure you have a plan, to install sandbags at your property to direct runoff, to remember the best practices during rain events, especially avoiding contact with water runoff and avoiding burn areas if you can. Sandbags are available at La Costa Post Office at 21229 PCH. And if you have any questions as we experience this rain event, the line for dispatch for storm debris is 800-675-4357. Additionally, I want to share that Los Angeles County is laser focused on protecting our coastline. I have a motion at Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting addressing this urgent priority, and I know Public Works is already moving to bring in the resources necessary to clean the debris from our beaches, to protect water quality, and to prevent further pollution. And in my conversation yesterday with Governor Gavin Newsom, I know he is committed to ensuring we have state resources to support us in this effort, and we thank him for his continued partnership and support of us in this very difficult time. In closing, I want to remind our affected communities to apply for Phase 2 debris removal program at recovery.lacounty.gov. So far, we have 4,773 right of entry forms that have been submitted for both the Palisades and Eaton Fire areas. There's more work to be done, and your participation and partnership will help us move quickly and in a coordinated fashion. Now, I'd like to welcome Mark Pestrella, our Director of Public Works, who is simultaneously managing the largest debris cleanup efforts in county history and overseeing our storm preparations. Mark, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you for your ongoing support and your leadership during this terrible tragedy that the community is experiencing. As Supervisor said, my name is Mark Pestrella, Director of Los Angeles County Public Works. My heart goes out again to everyone affected by the fire, both here in the county and incorporated community of Sunset Mesa and across the region. Loss of homes and personal property in the natural environment are devastating. We have a huge challenge on our hands, the largest debris removal project probably in the United States for a long time, my largest public works project and challenge in my career. There are more than 23,400 acres burned in the Palisades fire. That includes developed and undeveloped land, residential communities, and commercial properties. The total amount of debris in both combined between Eaton and the Palisades fire is estimated at 5 million tons. That's about 10 billion pounds of debris, trash and debris. Fire debris from private properties, charred vegetation, and sediment from denuded hillsides is being washed onto our local beaches, as Supervisor said, during rain events. At Public Works, our mission is to protect, as Supervisor said, people, their property, and the environment. This issue is affecting people's health, safety, and the environment. We share, of course, the public's concern about their property and their lives and the beach. You might ask who's on the job. First and foremost, LA County, the whole family of LA County, including our partners, departments, our first responders, and LA County Public Works led by our Board of Supervisors. We are directing the following agencies. The Public Works is directing the following agencies: Cal OES, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Beaches and Harbors, and Public Health. We are working together again to address the fire debris. Our short-term goal will be we're taking immediate steps to stop fire debris from washing onto beaches and into the storm drain system and potentially destroying homes. We're doing this by debris basin maintenance. There's an example behind us here that's going on today. By prepping debris basins before a storm, we provide additional capacity to capture mud and debris before it moves downstream. So we're doing this activity after each rain event. This basin here you see behind us did a wonderful job. It caught some 30,000 cubic yards of debris during the last event. Our Public Works Superintendent, he is here, and they are currently, the goal before this rain is to remove 10,000 yards, so we'll have a continued capacity. Our state partner, Cal OES, deployed 679 linear feet of K-rail and 1,500 sandbags right here along Cloudcrest Drive. Similar measures at other locations in the Palisades and Eaton burn areas. Public Works crews are also clearing catch basins, storm drains, and channels in advance of the next storm. We're installing compost socks and straw wattles, placing these around burned private properties near storm inlets to filter and retain debris. In-channel flow control using devices that slow water in channels, allowing debris to settle so it can be removed between storms. We want the public to be aware, and this is the other task that's at hand, preparing the community for what's coming. You'll hear in a minute about the weather that's coming. We do expect quite a bit of a storm on Tuesday and Wednesday that could generate 1 to 2 inches of rain, with rainfall intensities that could generate debris flows. That's at a half inch per hour of intensity. So we want the public to be prepared. We want to do that by having you call us if you have any concerns about your surroundings, where you live, and Supervisor gave the number already, 1-800-675-4357. LA County will dispatch engineers, laborers, and others to aid you if you are in the burn areas and need help. Please don't hesitate to call us. As Supervisor said, we are very proud of the ROE program that's ongoing. I just want to mention it for a second. The community is doing really well in responding to that program. That's the program that will remove debris from your homes. I'm working with the Army Corps of Engineers to get that going just as soon as possible. Again, the number for sandbags is 1-800-675-HELP. That's the same number you can call for any debris advice. And then as it starts to rain, I want to mention to everybody, while we don't expect to have to evacuate or recommend evacuations to the sheriff, we do want residents to not drive in the streets during rain, to remain at home if at all possible during rain, especially in those areas that are impacted by burn. Now I'd like to introduce Todd, Todd Hall, the Senior Meteorologist for the National Weather Service.
Good morning. My name is Todd Hall. I'm a senior meteorologist for the National Weather Service. Let me fix this here. How do I fix that? Okay. First off, our hearts go out to all the families and residents and businesses that have been affected by this tragedy. Driving in today, I witnessed that firsthand, and I came in from Oxnard today. Part of our mission is protection of life and property, and our team of people, our great team of people working out of Oxnard, California, are dedicated to this mission of protecting life and property. Overall, with this storm, there's a high likelihood that this storm will just bring a light to an occasionally moderate beneficial rain to the area. But there is a 10 to 20% chance that we could see those higher rates that Mark just mentioned. We could see a 10 to 20% of the higher intensity rates that could cause flash flooding and mud and debris flows. If a flood watch, in the event that any flood watch is issued for any burn scar, and right now we don't anticipate that, but if any burn scar, including the Palisades, Franklin, or Eaton burn areas, it means that there is greater than a 50% chance of flash flooding and mud and debris flows on any given portion of that burn scar. We do not exactly know where the debris flows will occur on the burn scar at that point, but we will. But in partnerships with local, county, and state, federal levels, we have identified the areas of concern in each burn area. If you live in a burn scar, please review the USGS post-fire debris flow hazard assessments. Those are on the USGS website. You can find those just by doing a web search. Flash flooding and mud and debris flows from burn scars can happen rapidly. So a flood watch may be the only warning that you actually receive from these, because they can occur within a matter of minutes. If you are asked to evacuate your home, please do so. We can only, like I said, this could be a rapidly intensifying situation where we could end up and see these higher rates. It's much easier to see fires. It's deceiving because we can see fires coming at us, but we can't see floods. So it's very important. This is a very life-threatening situation when we get into these higher rainfall rates. I do want to point out, in the last 2 decades, we've had a number of debris flows across Southern California. The majority of these have occurred during the overnight hours when people were sleeping. So I want to make sure that people do understand, while we as meteorologists expect only a low chance of this occurring, we do currently have some of our rainfall rates forecast. The most intense rainfall that's with this storm is forecast during the overnight hours. If you live near a recent burn scar and you receive flash flood warnings via a media source or a smartphone app, please do not decide to evacuate then. Head to the highest level of your home and shelter in place. And remain there until that warning has either expired or has been canceled. This may be several hours. And lastly, I just want to say, the rainfall rates that are expected with the storm we're expecting any between a quarter to half inch per hour at this point, but there still is that 10 to 20% chance that we can see rates much higher than forecast. Thank you.
In closing, it's safe to say we are getting prepared for this storm, and this is your opportunity to get prepared with us. We're happy to take any questions. Yes, we've been working in a collaborated fashion. Our sheriff has been leading with with Los Angeles Police Department, with CHP, and with Caltrans, and Captain C2 can speak to those discussions. The mayor does not have any authority in the unincorporated areas of Los Angeles County, nor does the mayor have authority in the area of Malibu. And so I think that's what caused the confusion. As soon as that announcement went out, officials in those areas reached out to our office to get that clear communication. And so our residents deserve clear communication, which is why we clarified that. We proceeded with the opening of the county-led areas on the PCH for the reasons that I mentioned. We want to make sure that we aren't running into any issues first thing on Monday morning. And this is the result of many days of planning and coordination with our state and local partners. And I believe our captain can speak to any further details that have been in place to ensure that people are safe, that this is a coordinated effort, and that we are protecting residents. That is really what this is about. We have heard from our community residents who need this kind of access, and that's essential to deliver that support for them in this very difficult time. That's right. We worked to be in unison, and we will continue to work to be in unison. The county will continue to lead in these efforts and work to bring people together to ensure that people are safe and coordinated through each of these efforts. Captain, would you like to add anything else?
Have you spoken to the mayor since she came out with that latest statement last night? Have you spoken to her at all?
I haven't.
Yes, so this is something that we've been working with the community with, just day to day, trying to get residents their passes in order to get through to heartbreaking stories about chemo treatments in Santa Monica. I know we have a council member here with us right now, Halen Conrad, and we've been working hand in hand with our elderly population and just these individuals that need to get through. So we want to open up the roads as soon as possible in order for people to actually get through, get what they need, get our kids back in our schools and our small businesses. Our small businesses here are really struggling. And so we want to open up the roads, and how we do that is what we do for each fire. It's called a repopulation meeting, where all the entities come together, whether it's utilities, roads, health department, all the officials come together, and we ask, does anybody support this plan? And that's how we move forward in a collaborative effort. And so, PCH, and as you can tell, this is not going to be perfect for a while, but we're going to do our best. Caltrans says we made it safe, and we're here to open so our residents, our small businesses, our community, and the people in the surrounding areas can get back to what they need to get back to, especially our young kids. I know, Hans, you had a question?
Well, actually, it's direct. You just answered it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question for Mark, though. Mark, you were quoted in the LA Times as saying Malibu was using a refusal to expand the water system as a way to control growth. Former mayor wrote a letter to the LA Times saying, oh, no, that's not true. Were you misinterpreted by the Times, or has Malibu been slow to expand its water system?
The system in Malibu is Waterworks System 29. Those residents actually own that system as our constituents. And through the years, there's been much debate about the expansion of the system to support development. So I'm not misquoted. There's been times when there's been large support by the real estate community in Malibu who would look for an expansion of that system. The folks in my department are always looking to improve its resiliency and reliance. And as a part of any expansion, we would require that the resiliency, in this case, fire suppression capacity of the system be upgraded along with it.
So how many millions of dollars do you need right now to make that system resilient?
It is millions of dollars, and the number is known. And thank you to Supervisor Horvath, who's been a champion for obtaining those dollars at all different levels of government and locally. She has, from the time she's been in office, she's been pushing us and authorizing us to move to create a more resilient and reliable system in the Malibu.
Do you have a dollar sign? Dollar amount?
I don't know that dollar amount right now. I don't want to quote you a number because I know it's over $50 million. I can tell you that.
And have the people of Malibu ever told you no to that $50 million? I mean, realizing that there's dissenting voices.
We haven't taken a vote on that from our constituents. Our constituents pay some of the highest water rates in all of California. So we know about the impact of raising rates on them and having them pay for it. So what we've been doing is responsibly seeking state and federal help, even taking loans from the state to fund those improvements.
Do we have any questions about the debris removal process? Do we have any questions ahead of the rain from reporters before I get to you, council member? Any reporters have questions? Okay, Final question from our council member from Malibu.
Oh, yes, I have it written down. Thank you for being here. I just wanted to double check. Give her the microphone. I just wanted, so I'm a Malibu City Council member, and I'm all for efficient, safe, toxic debris clearing, but I would like to know why Topanga Lagoon and the creek which is historically proven is an incredibly sensitive environment, was chosen. Why and how was this site chosen for the toxic debris sorting? Because I believe there could be a less environmentally sensitive solution that could be a middle ground that makes sense. And again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for your question. Yes, what you're talking about is our Phase 1 and Phase 2 system for debris removal. Phase 1 includes U.S. EPA removing they called household hazardous materials. This federal U.S. EPA made the choice of that location and is the entity that would be best to answer the question you have.
All right, thank you very much, everyone.